No.
Welcome to Inside the Other Dimension with Damon, Penny, and Ben Winfield. We take you further down the paranormal rabbit hole, looking deeper into strange happenings in the dark. We explore why the paranormal is such a mystery, and we package it all up for the truth. Odds. Sit back, relax, and get weird. Only on Inside the Other Dimension.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Other Dimension. I'm your host, Damon Penny, aka the Paranormal Viking, and I'm joined by my co-host, the Queen of the Sprites, Louisa, and and the Dark Lord himself, Mr. Ben Winfield. How you doing, guys?
Why do I get mentioned last now?
Because Lou's more important. And our guests tonight are the Queens of Paganism. We are joined by Kathy and Jade Adams tonight, and we're going to be learning all things pagan. Oh yeah, it's going to be a big one tonight. But before we get there, a couple of things to get through. You know I like my housekeeping. First things first, don't forget, if you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/other dimension. Pledge on there and help us keep the lights on here in Studio 1 and Studio 2. Also, some more information coming up later. The team will be going out tonight at 9 o'clock. We will be seeing If Mary Loves Dick. You've got to watch that one. It's going to be fantastic. But let's get on with the show. Oh, yeah.
Full credit to Most Haunted. They failed miserably towards the end. One for them, none of us would be here.
I know. Come on, that's got to be the best opening to the show ever. Yeah. Been practicing all week in the mirror.
I can't get this right.
Big shout out to everyone in the chat room, out to Andrew, out to Tracy, out to everybody locked on. It's going to be a good one. Out to Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Me and Jeanette have been having a chat on Facebook this week. It's been quite funny, actually.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Inside the mind of the Viking. No one gets there. But only Ben and Lou have been there like twice, and they've never come back. So, welcome, Kathy and Jade. How you doing?
Hiya. All right. You all right?
Yeah. This is officially Jade's second time. So we didn't get Jade exclusively, but we got her the second time around. So this is good. I think it's Kathy's third time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, paganism. Let's get onto it. Let's get onto the subject. Now, I'm slightly pagan myself because obviously I'm Norse. We don't know what Ben is. Lou likes...
Ben's a mystery.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Ben's a mystery.
But that's not clues.
I do follow religion. However, I have mentioned the name of said person and said other beings. I've just seen how well awake everyone is.
Well, I've got the memory of a goldfish, so I can't remember it. I've got no chance.
Yeah. Later, at some point in the show or in the future, guys, you're just going to see Damon doing this. And he's just going to rock, hit the side and go, boom.
Yeah.
And just...
Oh, mad one. So, Kathy, Jade, tell us what it is that drew you to paganism and what paganism is in your eyes, because it depends on the person who follows that religion.
I'm going to have to hand over to Jade because I'm just the co-host when it comes to paganism. You know, right. I get, Mum, I need these flowers, so I have to go out and plant those flowers. And I need, Mum, I need this, so Mum goes out and gets that.
Beautiful.
That's the way it works.
Best way to be.
Yeah. Go for it then.
Go for it.
Oh, paganism. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I think what drew me to it was stealing my mum's tarot cards.
Yeah. I love how you put stealing in there as well. Like, not actually asking if you can borrow them, you actually stole them.
I did.
Inherited them at an early age.
Yeah.
So you fell into paganism through a criminal act. Anyway, let's carry on.
So for her 13th birthday, in order that I didn't chop her fingers off, I bought her a Wiccan set of tarot cards. little did I know that in the booklet were spells and sabbats and all sorts of stuff. And when she come running downstairs saying, "Mum, I've got real spells," I thought, "Oh my God, what have I actually gone and done here?"
Hey, no. It's a nice way of starting, to be honest.
Does the spells actually work?
Pardon?
What does it say?
The spells actually work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've never done one. I've done that thing. Do you know when you write all your disappointments? So basically, I just written my name on a bit of paper, and you write. You know when you write all the things that you want to get rid of, and then you burn it at a Sabbath. I've done that, and that sort of worked because I woke up the next morning and I was slightly better looking. But that's the only spell I've ever done. I did have the lights off, Lou. Don't laugh. But yeah, does spells actually work? Because I know that obviously there's a massive market for like love potions and that on eBay and stuff. Do they actually work?
Not recommended love potions, no.
All right.
Damn, Dave.
I think my most effective spell that I done is I put somebody in the freezer.
You put what?
The classic.
Yeah. The well-known.
No. Before we go any further, lad, you need to explain this. You need to explain this because we're heading down the path of serial killers now. Right?
Just to confirm for any audience that may be watching now or in the future, Jade has not massacred anyone.
No.
Just want to state that here.
Right, yeah, can you elaborate on that, Jade? How did you put someone in a freezer?
So you write their name down on a piece of paper, you fold it away from you, and then you just bung it in the freezer.
Is that to make sure that they don't go off and they go past their sell-by date?
It's to make sure they don't bother you at all.
I'm so doing that.
Like
Get me some
freezing them
paper.
out of your life.
I'm going to try that. Because Lou done a show on tea leaf divination and now I'm obsessed. I even make a coffee now and see if there's anything left in the bottom of the cup. Right? No joke. So I'm definitely going to try that. It's definitely something I want to try. Shouts out to Emma. Shouts out to Annette. Welcome along. Out to Bonnie. Bonnie was saying the other day she needs to catch up, so it's good to have her here. So have you done any other spells apart from putting a body in the freezer?
4 bodies in the freezer.
4?
Oh, 4.
If they were my son, that's a big freezer.
Hey,
Freezer.
have we got to start checking out for the mafia here, or is there something like something we're not knowing?
If anyone has missed anything, we're joined by Kathy and Jade West. No, so because obviously I know, right, with paganism, pagans believe in a pantheon of gods. It's what separates them from organised religion, most organised religions. And I know that being pagan, you have to accept that you're part of nature instead of above nature as well. So obviously doing spells and that, is there a certain time of the year when you have to do spells or... I can't remember what I was going to say at the end of that conversation there. But is there any sort of part of time of the year where you've got to do spells?
There isn't a certain time where you have to do spells, but there's certain times where doing a certain spell is helpful. So if you're trying to get rid of something, you don't want to do it on a new moon. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
The lights switching off a bit.
Yeah, honestly, right, the whole day my brain's been going overdrive, right? So I've got like a million questions running through my head, and I've got my little librarian now, sort of organise them into like order of what's the best thing to ask. So how does the moon? Because I know the moons are a massive. Because me and Jade and Kathy, we've been collaborating on some tarot cards. Jade's basically been telling me what to do, and I've been doing it. So that's how the collaboration works. But I know on the Hecate card that we done, or Hecate card, whatever way you want to say it, we wanted that to be spiritualism, and it has the moons on there. So do the moons play a big part in paganism?
100%. I mean, It depends what kind of craft you do, because some people don't really work with the moon as much as others.
Right.
But the moon is a massive part for me.
Yeah, I know you can make moon water as well.
Yeah.
Because Lou's a garden witch, and she taught me how to make moon water.
Just for the benefit of anyone that's watching back at this at the moment, I want to state there is, and people who watch this and know me are about to probably fall around laughing. There is a very defined line between pagan and Wiccan.
Yeah.
See, Jade already knows where I'm going with this because she's already laughing because you've probably seen one of my rants.
Oh, here we
Pagans
go. And we're off.
Are what we're talking about now. Wiccans only started a couple of years ago with Gardner.
1940s.
Yeah, 1940s. Gardner, who was a nudist.
Oh.
These are the guys that you see down Stonehenge, rubbing and kissing the stones.
Oh.
Pagans are the ones that are
Old
stood at
witches.
the old witches, old pagans, are the ones that stand by the side of Stonehenge laughing at the Wiccans kissing the stones. So I just want to define that line and also say that Lou is a baby witch.
Shut up. I hate
she was
that
a
term,
garden-
baby witch. And it
I thought she was
always...
a garden witch. I'm so behind on this.
No, I'd steal the
Um,
babies. I'm old school. I do
Oh.
baby stealing.
Right, have you
Well,
got that?
start
Have you
calling
got that?
baby witch. Well, I'm going
We-
to start saying I steal babies and eat them.
We've managed to capture 2 serial killers and a baby stealer on the show. Can you move in? Go, 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 go. All right, okay.
Don't
So,
mind me.
Jade, have you got any protection spells? I might need them at some point.
Says you with all the points around you.
put her in a freezer.
There's no room, there's too many babies.
Yeah.
Can I just
So-
add, the freezer spell does wear off. We were walking down the road together with a friend of Jade's the other day, and this woman walked past and said hello. We both looked at each other and went, "She's going back in the freezer."
Oh,
And the poor girl that was with us didn't quite understand what was going on.
oh my god.
I can just imagine that conversation. You just walking past everyone and going, freezer, freezer, freezer. You can go in the fridge. I'm not quite sure yet. Freezer, freezer.
It's more fun because my boss at work's now putting people in the freezer as well.
Yeah.
Just quickly go through some of these comments. Annette's saying we are all originally pagans. Yes, we are. She's also saying freezer spells are good. It saves digging holes in the garden. Definitely.
Oh, I've got those too.
Jeanette's saying she's choking on her Sam. Be careful. We take no responsibility for any accidents that happen on the show. It's your liability. What was the freezer spell for, please? That's Bonnie's asking what the freezer spell was for.
It's to freeze people out of your life and make them leave you alone, basically.
So if we take the principles of the freezer spell, right, and we move it over. So if I wrote someone's name on a bit of paper and stuck them in a microwave and turn it on, would they automatically spontaneously combust?
We try it.
I'm gonna. Lou, if you wake up in the morning and Ben is a liquid matter, you know it works.
Oh.
I have to have a guinea pig.
I just want to state for the record that people have tried this sort of stuff before against me.
Oh, it's funny.
I have been hexed before multiple times.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, hexes work. However, all the spells work that you can find. I'm pretty sure Jade will agree with me and Catherine will agree with me. There is a very good book called The 5,000 Spells.
We have it twice.
Yeah, it's a brilliant book. There's some brilliant information in there. However, I will always state this for the fact, and had to state this to the person who tried hexing me. Make sure the person you're going to hex doesn't know that you're doing it or gets told that it's being done, because then it will backfire on a massive scale. As said, people found out and are still finding out to this day.
Oh, God.
So let's get into this now, because we've had our joking. It's always going to carry on. I don't know why I'm pretending it's not. Right. So, what is the difference between paganism and sort of like Judeo-Christian views, or organised religion. What is the main difference between the two, Jade or Kathy?
Do you want to take that one?
No, it's your religion.
Jade, I think you're being thrown under the bus. I think this is Mum getting revenge for when you stole her tarot cards.
Yeah, this is 100%.
I don't really know how to put it, to be honest. I feel paganism is a lot more freeing and a lot more empowering than most organised religions.
There's not really any rules, is there?
There are some rules.
But on the grand scale of things, it's not like as many.
Yeah.
Okay.
And women are revered more. Whereas Christianity,
Yes.
we like that because that's a big word. But yeah, because in Christianity,
Revered.
the men always seem to be the leaders and they push the women aside. Whereas in paganism, it's a lot of the women
rights.
worshipped.
What was that, Jade? Sorry?
Said in paganism, we actually have rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I can only come from a Norse perspective because of my religious beliefs. But in Norse, they were used to obviously upgrade. What am I doing? They upgrade. Women were shield maidens, and they were seen as more important on the battlefield because they brought luck. And some of the greatest Norse gods were female as well. But I think Norse follows the same sort of path as paganism as well, when it takes the fact of you are the product of Mother Nature, not mother. So you serve Mother Nature instead of Mother Nature serving you.
Yeah.
I'm just watching Damon wrap this around his head because it's quite funny.
Hey, I'm doing well, man. What do you want about?
Right. From a historical point of view, when
Here
it
he
comes to
goes.
cultology on the old pagan belief, women did have the power, even when it came to Norse mythology, because what we now consider as witches were actually called wild women or wise women.
Or seeresses.
These women had the ability to walk into any kingdom they wanted, and the king would have to give up their seat to allow this woman to sit there. Because what it was before that point, it is always considered that women have the more power because they are the only people that can create life.
Yes.
A man can't give birth to a child. It's impossible. 21st century. Just want to put that there.
That sort of depends on how you identify it, but we're not going to get into that conversation.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, so this is pretty much how it is, and this is how it was seen. So what happened was Christianity came along, didn't like that fact, and did what they normally do: persecute, burn, and do anything else to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Kathy and the one here would have been in high regard and would have had everything and anything they actually asked for. So if that kind of helps explain a bit more.
Also, if you look at it from the occult point of view as well, women have always played a massive part in the occult history, i.e. the Mother Maiden and the Crow. Yeah. And if you go even further back, look at the first woman that was created was Lilith. And because she wasn't subservient to Adam, that's why she got kicked out of the Garden of Eden as well. If you look at the occult beliefs going all the way back to that. Big shouts out to Wild Bill. Welcome along, Bill. How you doing? Shouts out to the US of the A crew. Peace out. So, paganism. I know that you celebrate the Sabbats as well, right? Yeah. So, because I know people, because obviously I'm applied for the army. I know people that have put in paganism as their religion just because they get like 8 days off a year because of the Sabbats. So, Jade, talk us through the Sabbats. What are they?
Right. My memory's going to go really badly here.
It is.
So you've got Yule, which is basically Christmas.
Yep.
The one beginning with an I.
Imbolc.
That's the one.
Imbolc. Yeah.
And then you've got, what's the one we've just celebrated? Astara. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got
Beltane,
which is my absolute favourite one.
Isn't that the summer solstice one?
No.
Beltane's coming up in the next couple of days.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I better go and get my Beltane clothes out of the wardrobe.
You're not dancing around the cemetery then, no?
No, I prefer open fires, Kathy. I look better in an open firelight.
What, literally in it?
Yeah, literally standing in the middle of an open firelight. Yeah. I did like Lou. She was all right for a little while. So with all these sort of celebrations that you celebrate, Jade and Kathy, with the paganism, is there like sort of a message behind each one? Obviously, like depending on what time of the year it is and that sort of thing.
Yeah, there is. Samhain is in between the two worlds.
I am so proud you remembered that.
I know that feeling. I get that
Go,
with Lou.
Kathy. Go, Kathy. Go,
It's
Kathy.
like we've got this one coming up. What are you guys doing for this one that's coming up for Beltane?
Biscuits.
And what's the meanings behind that?
Biscuits.
Yes, biscuits.
I love a bourbon.
I've got a really special recipe when it comes to Beltane.
These are last year's Beltane candles that we made. They've got little herbs and things in them.
Oh, well, they're cool.
And Jade made some really nice biscuits, so I'm looking forward to them.
Nice.
There is an actual message behind it, not just biscuits.
Yeah, so everyone who wants to celebrate Beltane, don't go and buy yourself some custard creams and sit in the garden and eat them. You need to understand that there is a message behind Beltane. Now, we've got to obviously address the taboo subject. Now, whenever you mention paganism to anybody, the first thing they go to is Satan worship and this sort of thing. Jade and Kathy, what's your views on that when people link you to Satanism or worshipping the Dark Lord, not them?
Well, I used to identify as a Satanist, so that's fine by me.
That was fun.
So nice. That just backfired the whole question.
There we go, Damon.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just going to go and get Anton Levy's book and we'll sit here and read that for the rest of the show. That sounds good.
We've got it.
So was it the Satanism that drove you to paganism?
I think so, yeah.
And it was a RE teacher that drove her to Satanism.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
I lost that.
So my RE teacher,
right.
I had to be part of a religion and that I was going to hell and all of that kind of stuff. And I said, okay, I'll be a part of a religion. So I came home and Mum said to look up alternative religions and I found Satanism.
So she went into school armed with a satanic Bible and a pentagram.
Nice.
Wow.
Credit.
And then
sorry.
I threatened to summon a poltergeist on him.
Yeah.
Nice.
At which point I had lots of teachers ringing me up expressing their concern for Jade's religious beliefs.
What's wrong with that? To be fair, Jade, I did the same at school as well.
Oh, I had it better than that. I told my RE teacher I believed in ghosts, and he actually put a request in for me to see a therapist. True story.
See, I must have had the best RE teacher because I stated what my beliefs were. My RE teacher went, okay, read this. And here I am today with everything that I've done.
Just got to read this one out. Emma says she was stopped in town by someone trying to convince her to join their church. She said she was pagan, and they told me I need saving and walked away. Typical. I mean, what's your guys' responses to that? The fact that people look at paganism in that way, considering it's a religion of nature, a religion of peace. You know, what's your response to obviously people that say that it's not?
Just ignore them because they obviously don't know what they're talking about.
I'm so glad you said that and you didn't say put them in the freezer.
That is the next option.
Or just say what you did to the cat before we came on air.
Oh, God. We're getting a Facebook ban. You've said it now. You've started. You've got to finish. What did you do to the cat before you come on air? He's not on the ceiling fan in the front room going round and round until you finish, is he?
I said absolutely nothing.
I dread to think what happened.
The cat is in the freezer.
Oh no, he's like, oh, that's all right then, that's fine. Whew.
Don't forget that bit straight in there.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, paganism itself, obviously, I don't know this. I think Ben's probably the best person to answer this. With paganism, does it take a lot of its origins from occult teachings?
I'm guessing so.
Paganism is basically a word that sums up pretty much every other religion bar Christianity.
Wait, so we're talking Hinduism, Buddhism, Islamic?
No. You're talking more like tribal beliefs, so Celtic. You look back to the old empires, you got the Germanic belief system, the Gaelic belief system,
Celtic,
the Middle Eastern tribal belief systems, Egyptians classed as paganism in a sense, Sumerians classed as paganism.
Yeah, because didn't they refer to pagans as people that believed in more than one god?
Yeah.
So, with the pagan belief system, what sort of gods do you sort of worship then? As to say.
Oh, what, me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I worship the Greek gods.
Oh, you like the Greek? Oh, yeah, I know you like the Greek pantheon. I think one of your pets is called Hades or Ares, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aries.
I remember now.
Come up here, Jade, and just slap him. Honestly. I'll hold him for you.
Yeah, but Ben, you might be able to back me up here.
I ain't backing you up on oath.
Well, no, weren't the Greek? Was it the Greeks or was it the Romans that converted to Christianity?
The Romans.
It was the Romans.
Well, you got Rome as being
the Vatican.
All right, matter of fact person.
Okay. Or as someone always keeps saying, the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, but I thought Constantine was Greek. He was Greek, wasn't he?
No.
Actually, he wasn't even Roman. He was Byzantinian.
Are you one of these people that believe the pharaohs were all Egyptian?
The pharaohs were Egyptians. I'm not that stupid.
No, they weren't. Oh my God. They were Greeks.
What? The pharaohs were Egyptian?
No, they were Greeks.
Oh my God. I need like a map. No, but Constantine I was Byzantinian. I know he was. Because in the game that I play on my phone, he's in the Byzantine Empire.
You're playing with apps on your phone, Damon?
Yep. Look, I like historical stuff. I just get it wrong sometimes. Most of the time. All the time.
So yeah, we'd like to introduce our new host, Jade.
Bill says he's losing faith in me. That's great. Frodo's face. Do you know what? He's like my occult father. Every time I get it wrong, he looks at me with that look of disappointment, and I feel like I failed in life.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeanette's hit the nail on the head. Look, she said it's my meltdown time. Damon's meltdown time. I at least once a show. Try and take the focus off it. Right. So how did the Greek pantheon, like with Zeus and Hades, Ares, how do they fit into the pagan belief system and the way that how do you sort of fit them into the way you believe, Jade?
So when it comes to things like Sabbath, I'll do things in representation of certain gods, or I'll do things like I have a glamour that I use with Aphrodite.
Can we just clarify as well quickly, right? Because I'm about to have another meltdown, but anyway, Aphrodite, she wasn't the Greek goddess of beauty, was she? She was the Greek goddess of fertility.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, come on, Ben. Put me out of my misery, for Christ's sake.
No, I just wanted to do it to see how you react. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Because the Greek goddess of beauty was Zeus's wife, was Hera, wasn't it? All right. Awkward silence moment.
He's learning slowly.
No, Joe. What? I think I'm doing the whole Essex thing where I act stupid, so people actually think I'm stupid, and I might end up on a TV show and make my millions. It's all a plan, mate. It's all a plan. Yeah, it's gonna work one day. One day. Yeah, maybe. I completely lost where I was. So you use the goddesses and the gods, obviously, in different Sabbats. So do you have to? I know from history that you always have to do sacrifices and so on. You don't do sacrifices, do you? You just put people in freezers.
Wow. It may be tempting.
Oh, I'm glad you finished that sentence where you went, well, I was like...
But now we know what's happened to the cat.
Bill, you're correct. Yes, she was the Greek version of Venus, if I'm not mistaken, she was. And Zeus was seen as Jupiter in Roman times. I'm trying to think now. Hades was Pluto, wasn't he? Pretty sure it was.
I don't know. Ask her. She's done the research.
Jade, Hades was Pluto, wasn't he?
I think so.
I bet he's so smug. Look, he's sitting there. He knows the answer, right? He's so
I'm not
smug
saying
about
anything. I'm not saying anything.
Lou, does he do that to you when you have an argument when he knows he's right? He just sits there and goes, and it really drives you insane.
Not really, do you?
Oh, so it's just me then.
No,
All right. Now, when we get onto paganism, we have to look at, obviously, we have to look at symbology as well. Obviously, things like the triquetra, the tree of life. These are all the triquetra.
Okay.
Did I say it right? I did say it right, didn't I?
You just look at him panicking constantly now.
Look what Bill wrote. He said, Ben makes you work for it and earn it. Damn right. You just see when he does the carrot on the stick, Bill. It does my head in. I get lost.
He's earning them
days.
dollars.
I'm not a stripper. So anyway, back to the question, Jade, Kathy. Paganism, symbolism is a big part of paganism. So you have that triquetra and stuff like that. They all mean different things, don't they?
Yeah.
And the tree of life is a major part of paganism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So explain to us the difference between the symbol. You're really getting on my nerves tonight, I swear to God. See, I'm asking all the questions. I'm doing all the hard work. And he's like the supervisor.
I don't need to, because Jade is very intelligent and has the knowledge on this. Damon's you're having to like check with Jade to make sure you're right.
Do you know what, right? In all honesty, I've never really looked into paganism. I've not been into Wicca. My whole family are Wiccan. My auntie, my mum, a lot of my family, we all grew up. They all brought up inside Wiccan, but they're the old Wiccans. I don't think they class themselves as pagan. I think they class themselves as old Wiccan. Like they do all the stuff, like they ride brooms.
So like traditional, not Wiccan.
Traditional, yeah, traditional. I don't like to put like labels on things, Lou. I'm a 2000s child.
You're just calling everyone a Wiccan, aren't you?
Yeah, they all come under one umbrella.
Colouring them all.
Yeah, exactly. All painted with the same brush. Anyway, so like my whole family have been like witches, and we have some. If you trace my ancestry back, you have some seers in my family from Old Norse times, and they converted to Christianity as well. When you had the big conversion in the middle century thing going on. So I can only look at things from a Norse point of view because that's all I really know. So I'm learning from Jade and Ben when he decides to talk.
I don't have to on this because, like I said, Jade is very intelligent. She's very knowledgeable on this subject. I'm taking a backseat.
Well, maybe
okay.
ask some questions, not give the answers.
It's all right. I've got this covered. Jade, take the show. What are we talking about?
Right.
No, Jade, I know you have a fascination with dragons. How do dragons fit into your paganistic beliefs?
I have no idea. I'm still trying to fit them in somewhere.
Would you like me to help you with that, Jade?
Yes, please.
Right. When it comes to dragons within paganism and Wiccan belief system, this is where you can tell the difference between New Age pagans, New Age Wiccans, and the Old Age Wiccans and pagans. Because dragons were thought of as being the guardians between this realm and the next. They were the spiritual sort of guardians, advisories when connecting to the old world. This is more the more naturist world than the spiritual world. So that's where you can find your connection between your paganism and dragons. But you want to be mainly looking towards more the European style of dragons. So 4-legged wings. If you go for the 2-legged wings, that is a wyvern. They were considered a different mythological creature. Same as when you go on to more the Chinese or Asian culture, you have the spirit dragons there, which we all know from Chinese beliefs. The serpent-like creature. Random point fact, if you want to tell the difference between a traditional dragon in Chinese culture and a New Age dragon in Chinese culture, they don't have whiskers. It was tattoo artists that put the whiskers on to make them look more Asianish.
Asianish. More Oriental, Ben. More Oriental.
That's the one. Oriental.
Well, yeah, no, I can see that. I can see it because if you look at the Norse belief, the Denmarkians, also known as the Danish, they believe that dragons were held in Vanaheim, which was the overguard of the Rainbow Road to Midgard, which is Earth. So that would fit in, tie in with the belief of the pagan. So it's quite, it sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to put that up, Bill. I nearly put Bill's comment up and I was like, nope, that's not going up.
Oh, Jesus, Bill.
Wow. So, another question.
No,
I've got questions that were emailed to me today. First one was from a friend of mine who's a complete piss take, but I'm going to ask a question anyway. Jade, Kathy, do pagans carry wands and do they work?
Yes.
Do they actually work? Seriously?
Yes.
I want a wand.
Get one tonight from the forest.
Yeah.
Pick one up.
I'm not going to have time, Lou. I'll be too busy searching for dick.
Or if you pick up a little stick, bring it home and call it your wand.
It's dark. I don't want to pick up the wrong thing. Oh dear.
So, just out of curiosity, Jade, do you have a wand yourself?
I have something like a wand.
What's it made out of?
It's just a stick.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Any idea what material it is, like what tree it's from and all that sort of stuff?
From the apple orchard.
It was from an apple tree.
Yeah. So yeah, you can have ones made out of different items and stuff like that. Different trees will hold different powers due to their, look more into the scientific side, different nutrients, stuff like that. So yeah.
So can you have them all sort of like, is it a lot like, because I don't know stuff like, is it a lot like Harry Potter? If you have like a unicorn hair on the inside, it's more powerful. And is there like one to all them all?
No.
Oh, right. That's just a massive disappointment.
They also don't have bright sparks coming out of them.
Oh, okay. That's even more of a disappointment. So it's just a stick that you hit people with, really, instead of putting them in the freezer. No, I know that obviously, right, okay, so another question I got asked is, first of all, if you want to be pagan, where do you start and where do you start your research and what sort of books do you read?
Look up protection. That is a really, really, really big thing. You can't really do anything if you're not protected.
Yep. We always promote protection on the show. Definitely. 100%.
I would look into the history of the type of paganism they're looking at, because that's also important. I'd also look into things like chakras, things they want to work with. They want to work with crystals, runestones, tarot cards, just simple things.
So is it more drawing on Mother Nature's energy more than drawing on the spiritual realm with paganism?
I think it depends on what you're actually doing.
So what's your take on that? Obviously, like, witches are trending now. We get it all the time. Me and Ben, demonology. Oh, you're only demonologist because demons are trending, #demons, even though we want to start #Sage Rage Rampage, but we're not going to go there on that one in this show.
Don't even bring it up, Paige. Don't even bring it up.
No, I'm not going to go there. So, witches are trending. You have things like Witch Talk now. You have loads of Facebook groups that people are doing all these witchy stuff, love potions and all that. What's your take on all this whole trend of witches taking off? Is it just a fallacy and people are just sort of following it, or do you believe that it's helping your cause as a pagan and opening people up to your belief system?
I mean, I think it is opening people up, but I also do think we do still. It makes it look easy when it's not. It's a whole lifelong path, and they're making it look like something you can do overnight.
Yeah. This is what I explain to people when it comes to Norse. Like, you can't just turn around and say you're Norse and go and buy yourself a few bits of jewelry and a t-shirt and think you're Norse. It's a way of life.
Yeah, grey hair.
Yeah, grey hair. I've cut it. Look, I've cut it. I've got hardly any left. Look, I've gone back to being a bin bag then. Jeanette's got a really good question here. I'm going to stick it up for you. She's asking, what different types of pagans are there?
There's a lot.
You're an eclectic.
I'm an eclectic.
That's the one.
Did you just call her an epileptic? I'm an epileptic pagan. I just have to stay away from flashing lights.
That's why I wonder.
Ben, when we was at Tewkesbury, the woman that stood up and done talks before us, she went through an absolute list of what she was, didn't she? She was like,
that was to do with witchcraft, though, not paganism.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why people have to
witchcraft is a little bit different, because paganism's more about your pantheons, really, whereas you've got your different branches and different paths of witchcraft as well.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why people have to label it. You know, I don't turn around and go, I'm new.
You always call yourself a Viking.
I am a Viking.
You've got a label.
You're labeling yourself.
Viking, you can't. Viking is an action. You are Norse.
Yeah.
Viking is pagan. To go raiding, to go traveling, to go trading.
I go raiding. I will do it live tonight. I will go raiding.
You're Norse, buddy. Just say Norse. Norse
pagan.
No,
I'm not pagan. I'm Norse.
As of 2018, I think, from my brain's
you need to get up to date, don't you?
There was 4,800 plus religions in the world. That's not taking into account the entirety of subgroups that go down. So if you take into the known subgroups of witches, if I remember correctly, that stands at 562 different branches.
Wow. I'm Joe Watt, right? No, when I was saying about labels, okay, I know obviously I totally screwed it up because I said I was Norse. I mean, like, people that cross-label. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm Neoplatonism, Pythagorean, Norse, eclectic, / do you Do you know what I mean? That's just like literally, okay, you literally believe in everything. You're the sort of person that goes to a dessert buffet and has everything apart from the trifle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what I was talking about with Jade and Kathy. I think that's what's damaging the pagan belief system. It's people that are like sort of cross religion in, you have like Norse pagan, neo-eclectic, normal garden babies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Bill was saying here, like he says you have to have Norse blood to be Norse, which I've got. And he says that's hence I am Native American Cherokee, which he says some would class that as a religion, as a form of pagan religion as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's pagan.
Yeah. But wasn't pagan used as a slang word back in the day? Like, to sort of take the piss out of people?
Yeah, not so much. You had pagans like that, then you had like heathens.
That's what I was thinking of. Heathen was the one that was made.
Yeah, heathen was stated anyone that didn't follow Christianity.
But meant in a bad way. And then the
heathen meant just anyone who lived on a heath, because they used to class that as lower class Vikings, because the upper class never used to live on the heath, they used to live in the castle. And that's straight from a textbook.
Yeah, but heathen was around in like with the Roman times as well that it started. You had that sort of thing. And barbarians was anything that was Celtic north of the Alps, basically.
Right. So like
it's how all words start spinning around.
Like Boadicea and people like that, they were barbarians, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm with you now, see? I'm with you now. Bill's saying Ben's a heathen. I agree with that. So if, right, say for instance now, Jay, we was going to turn around to you and we was going to go, right, sell paganism to somebody who has no religion. Where would you start and what would you tell them to do?
That is a very good question.
Yeah. It's only taken 47 minutes, smashed it.
Yeah, Mother's Tarot cards. How would you get started?
How would you get started?
Yeah.
Send it to me. Turn me into a pagan, Jade.
I'd say it's very empowering. And it makes you feel like you're actually in the driver's seat of the car in your life and not in the passenger seat. It makes you feel like you're in control.
That's it. I'm converted. No, it's true. I mean, any religion that sort of staples itself in the fact that it puts you in the driver's seat, so you are responsible for your actions, you are the person that decides your fate. That is the sort of religion that the world needs, not one where your fate is decided by something that you have to have the faith to believe in the first place for it to happen.
Yeah.
And there's the awkward silence again.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
As Bill said, I couldn't put it by myself. Very knowledgeable young lady.
Yep.
Aww, thank you.
And to impress Bill, trust me, it takes a lot. He doesn't blow smoke on his backside. Same as me.
Yeah. Bill tells it how it is, 100%. Like every time we get him on the show, me and Ben sit here and we're like, we just stay silent, and Bill just puts you in your place. He's just like, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So we're getting towards the end of the show now. We've got a few things to plug. Don't forget, the other dimension, we are doing a spiritual night. We're going on investigation. We are going to be inviting the listeners. We're hoping that Jade and Kathy will come along to that so you can meet Jade in person. And she can convert everybody there except for me, Ben and Lou. So you can all go outside, hold hands around a fire and get naked. Only joking.
I think Damon wants to come up with them, don't he?
I know.
I won't convert, but I'll dance naked. I'm happy with that. I've got nothing to hide. You know what they say? People say, people say you're either extremely funny or you've got really large manhood, and everyone says that I'm hilarious. So there you go. Jeanette's saying couldn't agree more. Bonnie's saying Bill is full of knowledge and experience. Oh, Bonnie, he doesn't need any more head swell syndrome. He's already got enough of that. So, guys, if you have any questions for Jade about paganism, you can either catch her on Facebook or you can message me or Ben and we'll pass them over.
She's not on Facebook, hence she has to steal mine as well as my tarot cards and my pendulums and everything else.
Seems fair. So, if anyone wants to talk to Jade, please get in touch with her secretary, that is Kathy. Hey, Jade, you have to. Trust me. This is my secretary. This is my agent at the minute.
Yeah, you're
literally, for everybody that's locked in out there, right, this is the God's honest truth. Without Lou, me and Ben would be lost.
Aww.
Seriously. Yeah. Lou is the person that calms us down when we're going off on a mad tangent. And she's the one that picks things. Honestly, she's brilliant. She's brilliant. She's great. She is great. Bill saying investigation tonight or a party. Hope it'll be live. Yes, we are going live. The team that's officially sponsored by the show, Truth Collective, mine and Ben's team, which Ben and Lou are part of. We'll be going out tonight into Epping Forest at 9 p.m. straight after this show, where we'll be searching for Richard the Dick Turpin and seeing if Mary pops up as well. See how I didn't build the joke in that time. Tonight I've got two new experiments I'm going to do. One is a collective consciousness experiment, which, guys, if you're a medium, you need to look into that because it's all to do with you. We're going to get interactive with the crowd tonight because you know how me and Ben do it. We don't do it like everyone else does. We do it different. So we've got that ongoing. And tonight I'm going under an Exes method, or as people like to call it, a sensory deprivation experiment. And I shall be doing that live on air tonight. Also, don't forget to catch Ben and Lou's show this Sunday. Are you doing one this Sunday, guys?
Not sure because we have a lot going on the next day. Because we've got a reenactment on the Monday. For those of you that want to see how I used to be in action, if you check out my page at the minute, there's an old video on there of me cracking my head open on someone's helmet in the midst of a fight.
Oh, mate, that was brilliant. You was like a possessed WWE wrestler. Like, ah!
I used to do the stunt work and the berserker for the public. So if anyone wants to check that out, go over. When it comes to Sunday show at the minute, I'm still doing research into my quantum mechanic theory. I kind of had a blowout yesterday with my brain due to the fact that I went from having 6 states of quantum matter into 22 states of quantum matter, and my brain has pretty much subsided. So there we go.
There you go. Don't forget, guys, keep it locked to the other dimension. We've got other divination stuff coming up with our Queen of the Sprites. This is
I was going to do
Winfield.
I was going to do one this week.
Yeah.
But because it's quite a large one I'm covering, so I don't just do a bit of a wishy-washy thing, do I? I like to go into a bit of detail. So
you're very thorough, Lou. Yeah, definitely. She's very thorough.
Yeah, it's taken me longer than expected to get this one all put together. So it's probably going to be next week.
Okay, so keep an eye out for that one. Next Friday, we are joined by a new guest to the show, someone that's coming on. We're joined by the head investigator for Roisin in Wonderland. That's a team based up in Blackpool, and they've been doing a lot of filming. So we'll be talking to them about their experiences and how they've been getting on the paranormal world. The week after that, we are joined by, oh God, my brain's gone completely blank. Another paranormal team. And we'll be talking about their experiences as well. And we've also got some big names lined up. We're hoping to get Barry John and Andy McDonald on the show as well. But for tonight's guests, Jade, Kathy, you've been absolutely awesome.
Who's Andy McDonald?
Andy, you're the one that done the whole dragon thing to Ben and he crapped.
Andy Moore.
That's the one.
From HD
Andy, give us some more. Yeah, Andy Moore. And we're not joined by Barry Scott either. Barry John.
Yep.
Me and you are terrible with names. We really are. Right. And from our guests tonight, Jade and Kathy Adams, you guys have been absolutely excellent. If you do have any questions for Jade and Kathy, post your comments under the video or hit me and Ben up on the page and we'll get your questions over to you guys. Jade, Kathy, if there's anything you've got coming up, any interviews or anything like that, or any final words, hit the listeners with it now.
I don't think we have at the moment. No, I think this is it for now.
Brilliant.
I'm sure we'll be keeping an eye on Jade's progression as she grows in her Wiccan.
Wiccan? Do you want me to swap him?
Sorry, I deserve to have my lower regions removed for saying that.
No,
He should be hung, drawn, and quartered.
Yeah.
no, I need him in one piece for the wedding.
All
right, we'll do it after the wedding then. There you go.
So we shall keep an eye on her as she grows with that. And
Yep. Can you also keep an eye on the page? We'll be putting updates for my, Jade, and Kathy's collaboration on her tarot cards, which are coming along very, very good. They hopefully will go up for sale when I get my arse in gear. So yeah, we've got a lot going on behind the scenes, but yeah, don't forget, lock in after the show, 9 o'clock, Truth Collective. We will be live. I think that's it from us this week. We're gonna pop off so I can head off down to Epping Forest. Yeah. So
big quick one for the Patreons as well. I will be putting photographs of my own book up soon, and then, like I said before, I'll be arranging for an invite-only show for you guys that have been watching the Sunday show for a while to take a dive into my own books and show you how everything works that I use.
Yes. Yeah, so if you do want to check that out, patreon.com/The Other Dimension. Pledge over there. You can pledge for a little as £1. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pledge for a little as a Happy Meal. It always goes down well. Yeah, so from us here at the Other Dimension Towers, from me, it's good night. From Ben and Lou, it's good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And from our esteemed guests as well, Jade and Kathy, it's good night.
Good night. Thanks for having us.
And always remember, guys, if there is no other explanation, there is always the other